Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Talks with School of Coding. My name is Manny. Today I'm joined with Cameron, and today we're going to be talking about AI, everything to do about AI. Now, Cameron, we've been getting into AI and trying to teach people AI for the last 2 years, but obviously now it's picked up a lot of momentum. So, look, we're going to go straight into it. I think today's conversation should be all about the basics of AI, and then we can move forward from there with the series of more technical stuff and how businesses and individuals can benefit from this wonderful technology that's taking over the world.
I totally agree because I get people come to me all the time and say, Cameron, what is it? I keep hearing it said AI, AI, AI. It's like people don't know the basic definition of it yet, and it's more simple than people think.
But what do you think is about AI that's attracting people, in your opinion?
I think it's how futuristic it is. Because let's say we go back to the old school films, like you got Terminator. Even when I was a kid, I grew up watching Iron Man. I love that stuff. And when I saw Jarvis and him having the whole AI thing in his house, I knew when I grew up, I wanted that in my house.
Yeah.
But we don't realize we're already there. We've got Alexa at home. We've got the Apple HomePod at home. So we're already taking a step direction. People I don't think are taking that in yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that, when you're talking about Iron Man and Alexa, it's so crazy that we've been using Alexa for so many years already, right? And nobody ever thought about AI the way they think about it now since ChatGPT has come out. So is it that because ChatGPT allowed people to ask questions and they no longer need to go to other people to ask those questions, but also because it's so quick for you to get response to all of your questions and pretty much everything? I'm sure you probably use ChatGPT every day, right?
Well, we're a coding company, so I try to incorporate as much AI into my work every day. It saves me so much time.
What about you? What about personally though?
Personally, yes, a lot. For example, I went to Morocco recently, and one thing that helped me a lot kind of plan some things. I said to ChatGPT, I'm going to Morocco for this many days.
Yeah.
I want to travel to these places, these rough activities. Can you make a whole schedule for me? It gave me the whole schedule. It gave me links to where I can book these activities. It told me what times you need to be here, what hotels to book, and everything for me. That kind of work, we used to pay agents how much silly money back in the day.
Definitely.
And look, I went ChatGPT, it's a 5-minute job.
And I use it for all kinds of things. Like I'm trying to improve my well-being and fitness, and one of the things, and one of the things I find really difficult, like I'm sure all of you guys, is actually sitting down and making a meal plan for the whole week, because you tend to, when you're writing that, you tend to repeat. But what I said is, I don't like these foods, I like these foods, and it just set out a meal plan for me. But anyway, we're going off into different areas. But what we need to focus on is, what is it about AI that's attracting individuals and businesses, and more importantly, those who haven't started their journey in AI? Where should they start? I mean, I'll tell you, I'll share my journey as to where I started. So when I started thinking about AI, I wanted to make sure that this technology was one of those technologies that I knew inside out. So hence why I jumped onto a lot of courses myself. Obviously, School of Coding offers a lot of AI courses for businesses and individuals, but I did those, but also I wanted to do something extra. So I jumped into that Microsoft Copilot courses to understand how this technology is going to evolve. Now there's more and more knowledge available in the marketplace. It's so important for all of us to learn this technology because it's only going to get bigger. So if you think about things like farming, right?
Yeah.
Now I live in a very small village, and everything around it is just farms. And I think about it every day when I'm driving to work and back, that all these tractors, farmers, they will see an impact of AI. And we've already seen it through drones and stuff like that. But once AI is everywhere in those sectors, we haven't brought it into hospitality yet. Like in China, they already started testing humanoid robots serving you. So think about how far this is going to go. Does that scare you?
I think a little bit, but at the same time, I think it's like a next step in evolution,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It's scary bit because it's so new to everyone, and the way, like I was talking before, the way the films and kind of the media perceive it, it can be scary. Like, what if they develop their own brain and overtake? But I think it's the next step in evolution. Like when the cavemen started to be able to communicate with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the step we're going.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what I was saying about, for those who haven't started the journey into AI or are very early on, learning about AI and learning different methodologies of this technology. Even when we're talking about ChatGPT, so many people say they use ChatGPT on a daily basis. And we were talking about this yesterday, that they haven't even done 10% of that ChatGPT yet. They don't even understand 10%.
People think ChatGPT is just a normal thing we keep asking the questions.
Exactly.
There is how many other GPTs
within ChatGPT that they need to get to know. So if you're watching this, you definitely want to explore ChatGPT further. Then the question to go and ask or prompt to use is, what are the different GPTs that I can use to learn new things in ChatGPT? And you'll be surprised. If you want to do, for example, new images, if you're an artist, or if you want to go into sports, anything that you are interested in, just ask the question as a prompt to ChatGPT that show me other GPTs, not just ChatGPT. And I've done that over the last few weeks with my 8-year-old boy, Zorawar, and he's now hooked on creating new images of Manchester United Stadium.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually changing colours and all kinds of stuff. So the creativity is absolutely huge for both adults and children. So I think the starting point should be about learning and actually using ChatGPT to learn about other GPTs. What do you think?
It's true, because you can, I think people understand you can use the AI to learn what AI is.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly.
Ask the AI, how can I use you to your full extent?
Yeah.
And learn kind of all the different things you can help me on.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So what about when we're talking about the economic impact? So this is a bit of a serious question, because every government, local authorities that we work with, we've seen so much work that's coming out of training other people about AI, but then there's a lot of heavy-end products for governments. And, on a serious note, when we talk about, for example, cybercrime, cyber wars, AI is going to have a massive impact in all of that. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think AI is going to impact our economies?
Well, I think before we start looking at the big economy, I think people in general, like there's a lot of people that have said to me that, AI is going to take over my job. I'm not going to have a job soon, because if an AI or robot can do it, they're going to overtake me. But one thing I've tried to reassure people is that AI can never overtake your job. People that know AI will take your job. If that makes sense. We're still at the very early stage, which is why obviously we've been trying for the last 2 years trying to push it onto everyone, get them to understand, because as long as you understand even the basics of AI, you're way ahead of the market already, because it's so early and new.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues at the moment, because everybody is seeing it as a threat, right, and a fear. But look, I think this is for our audience as well. I was reading about this, and I thought to myself that if we are so worried about AI taking our jobs, let's go back not too long, 50, 60 years back. People had the same thought process about computers. That computers are going to come and take over my job. But now there's more jobs available because of computers, right? There's more money available in financial markets because of computers, right? We can diagnose a lot of really, really serious disease a lot quicker because of computers. So imagine where AI is going to add all of that and kind of speed it up and benefit us. I think people are not looking at that. They keep thinking about, we're going to lose job. Look, I think, in my opinion, AI is never going to take our jobs. AI is going to take jobs from those who, like Cameron said, are not willing to learn AI. So we have to get our next generation and ourselves to a point where we now accept this is the future. There's no two about it. AI is the future. Either come on the journey or be left behind. Those are the only options that are available in the marketplace now. Do you agree?
I think you could have said it better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think because this is our first series, we want to just touch on this as well, the ethical side of AI.
Okay.
It can go terribly wrong as well. I've seen it, right? Just like Tesla cars. And I'm a big believer of Tesla because Tesla's got a lot of AI technology built into it. But look, I think in order for us to get to that point where we are building sustainable cars for this planet, on this planet, we have to go through the journey. Because when we started in computers would take up the whole room, right?
Yeah.
Now we hold them in our hand. So I think any technology always needs time to evolve.
No, like you said, AI is so brand new. Like I know we've had AI in the past, but they've just been algorithms where they follow a certain structure.
Yeah.
AI is getting a lot smarter now, where it's kind of like its own brain, right? And it's so new. It's like at its toddler stage right now.
Yeah.
It's still learning,
definitely,
and it's still growing. So we've got to.
And we've got to hold his hands.
Literally. So it's bound to make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
It's a toddler. It's going to trip up a few times, still learn how to walk.
Yeah.
But we're getting to that stage where it's slowly, okay, this is how I'm going to walk now. This is how I'm going to start talking, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's building up them foundations for it.
And I think once we built those foundations and we believe in those foundations, that's when we will see the next part of this journey.
It'll be the next evolution, like I said,
Yeah.
right?
But when we're talking about the ethical side of AI, you know, I was saying about Tesla that, you know, people are always talking about the bad things that a Tesla car does rather than all the good things that Tesla car can do as well. You know, if we are talking about self-driven cars, it's going to have to go through a phase where it's going to crash, as hopefully nobody will lose their life, but it's going to crash. And only then we're going to learn and go and build that technology. And I believe AI is exactly the same.
Yeah.
We have to keep testing. We have to keep trying moving forward. Like I was saying about my son, you know, taking Manchester United Stadium, that's in red, to now, I hope he's never going to do blue, but, you know, all the different colors that he's trying with that. But that's evolution, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the journey that we're going on. And that's a revolution in technology. And I think we need to be part of that revolution because the digital revolution has started. And we at School of Coding are big believers of digital revolution. So you want to be part of that revolution and not be left behind. And I think those who look at AI negatively will be left behind.
It will. I think people need to start to accept that it's having more of a positive impact on our day-to-day life than we realise.
Yeah.
And stop trying to make an enemy out of it. Because I know it's just human nature, right?
Yes.
To
look at the negatives first.
Look at the negatives first. Because you don't want to take that risk, you want to take that first step.
Yeah.
You want to, so like our safety's coming in, our fear. Yeah. But I think as soon as you start accepting that it is something that we need in our day-to-day life and how, even the lives it saves. Like you were talking about the doctors before, they've created new AI software where it can detect if you get diabetes and the likelihood of it. Like it will look for your whole family tree and it can reduce the impact of how much it's going to have on you, right?
Yes.
So AI is having such a positive impact on us without realizing it.
But do you think it should be regulated?
Yes. While it's early, I feel like there should be some restrictions on it. The reason why is because I saw a picture out there of Donald Trump getting arrested, and it wasn't. I genuinely thought it was real when I first saw it. Then I realized after, so I saw all the comments said, "Oh, it's AI made."
Yeah.
So I feel like there needs to be some.
And it will improve, you won't be able to spot the difference.
And even like, I love my music.
Yeah.
I love listening to my music. There's people that are making songs out there with other people's voices.
Yes.
So I thought there was a song by like Roddy Ricch, but it wasn't Roddy Ricch. I made it.
Oh,
the computer made
100%,
it. So I feel like there should be some restrictions or some sort of way that we can tell it's
regulation, policing, right? So is what we're talking about.
This is what
somebody somewhere needs to oversee it.
Yes.
And whoever it is going to make a lot of money. You know, that's for sure. But we need to make sure that we also have the creative side. So when you restrict something too much, then you don't get the creative side either. So I think we're at a stage at the moment where we need to go through one or two phases of just growth, natural growth of the next 5-10 years. And I think then by itself, like we do in, you know, in other information services, we will regulate it.
Yeah.
You know, countries will regulate it, governments will regulate it. But I think, in my opinion, it's way too early to regulate yet. Let it grow. You know, we're not at a danger zones at the moment, right? So we need to let people's creativity in this technology come out. And AI is that part of our life that's going to be there for the next 50, 60 years, at least before the next technology comes out. So I think let's be creative with it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. More importantly, let's learn about it. So I think one takeaway from me today would be, if you are looking to get into AI, go on ChatGPT, try the other GPTs, because there's not just ChatGPT, there are so many GPTs. And then we'll talk about other topics in AI in the coming sessions. Any tips from you?
I think you said perfectly. I feel like before you start looking to AI, I think understand what it is and actually give ChatGPT a go. Even like, I know AI was, I asked ChatGPT, what is AI? And it told me, and it gave me like, in such simple terms where I can understand it.
Yeah, and you can ask it to simplify further and further and further.
Keep simplifying it.
Yeah.
I can say I'm a 5-year-old. What is AI?
Yeah.
And it will break it down for how
Exactly.
5-year-old understand it. So I feel like you just need to. The best advice I give is just experiment.
Yeah.
Experiment. Keep trying it out until you.
And you have to set time to aside to do it.
You have
so what I've done is I've downloaded ChatGPT app, right?
Yeah.
And I just try for 10, 15 minutes every day, something new, right? Something I've never done on it before. And I've learned so much. So when we're talking about, I was talking about Microsoft Copilot,
Yes,
right? And I wanted to learn about Microsoft Copilot from ChatGPT or other GPTs within that. And I think there are so much, the world is just so big on AI that, I spent almost 2 weeks just learning about how it can be used in Excel. That was just the Excel, right? Never mind Word, presentation, and everything else that comes with it as well later on. So I think don't get lost in the forest.
Yes.
Just look at one tree at a time, but try different trees. So in other words, try one GPT, then another one for images, one for sound, and so on. And that way you'll know and start building, and also ChatGPT will start learning about your behaviors as well. But look, away from ChatGPT, we're going to talk about Google Gemini in the next one, right? Yeah. And we also want to talk about Microsoft Copilot, which is really, really important. So we're definitely going to bring you a lot more content on this. And we are starting with the basics, and hopefully you'll take something positive away from this, just like we are at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until next time.
Thank you.
Take care.